Hey daughters and sons, yes it's me. Yes, I'm beat. I got up today and said, you know, may as well give myself a little beat. Why not? So I gave myself a light beat. Just a light one, nothing special. Anywho, we are here to talk about All Rise. All Rise, it's a new show. I believe it's on ABC if I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken. We never know. I'm always mistaken, ain't I? Anywho, the show I think is iconic and legendary. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I'm going to be so disappointed if y'all let this show get canceled. I'm going to be disappointed. VV disappointed. It stars my fave. Y'all know in my list of black lady actresses that I told y'all to tell me when y'all see them on TV, just let me know, point me in the direction. Simone Missick is on that list. She is actually probably in like the top 5 honestly of my faves. Y'all know how I feel about Amira Van, Black Lady Updo. You know, they run neck and neck for me. They run right there together. It's like, girl, when you see them on TV, holla. Y'all holla. Let me find my notes for the show. I don't think we're gonna go scene by, well, we might go scene by scene, but I don't think we're gonna go every little bit by bit because there was a lot going on, daughter, a lot going on. I was watching Bibliophilic's video, which I'm gonna try to remember to link down in this comment, but honey, I got a lot I'm doing today. And she made a very valid point that, girl, there was so many different things going on. It was 4 different cases and folks' personal lives and all of this for a pilot episode. It was a lot. Let me let up some of these windows, honey. Let me let up some of these windows. Okay, I'm gonna get hot real quick. Real quick. But this window loud today. All the windows loud today, but in particular, this window right here. So anyway, let me get into these notes. Let me find them. Have you seen them? Tell me, have you seen them? Now see, why you, girl, the limit is 55. The limit of speed. And you're driving a tender 40? Are we below 40? We're dropping lower than 40. And y'all just taking your time. I got somewhere to be. I got somewhere to be. Anywho, let me, girl, where are the notes? Here they are. And it begins with our legend, Simone Missick, who looks amazing as she always does. Girl, what is going on with this puff? It's got a piece hanging here, a piece stuck up here. It's a mess. Girl, I'm finna run y'all over. Y'all need to go. I'm truly about to run these people over. I'm really about to. So Simone Missick is legendary, honey. I don't know her character's name. I really don't. Some Carmichael. And the only reason I remember Carmichael is because y'all know one of my favorite movies is Sweet Home Alabama. And Melanie Carmichael, Smoother Carmichael, or however it went, honey. It's one of my faves. But she's a lawyer at this point. She's getting ready to transition to being a judge. She is is she a DA? She's a DA, and she's getting ready to, ooh, girl, I almost got run over, honey. I was in that lane. So you gotta have both hands on the wheel, and I don't. I just don't. And I still don't. My hand is just in my lap. Like I said that and didn't put my hand on the wheel. The ghetto, okay. So she is at the courthouse, and she done put her laptop on the top of her car and reached in to get some other things. You know, she got coffee, she got paperwork, books, all of that. So while she's reaching in to get more stuff, a fella swipes her laptop and takes off running. And she tries to kind of trot after him, honey, but she not the stallion. The only people that can that can really run in heels is like Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion. It's something about Houston. But she kind of tiptoes after him, but while she's tiptoeing after him, and y'all see this car tailgating? I can't go no faster. There's a car in front of me. You're gonna have to get off of me. You're gonna have to, or you can go around us. Anywho, what was it? Yeah, while the man is running to get away from her and to get away with her laptop, some white man, honey, drives his car nearly into the boy, drives the car in front of the boy, and he runs into the car. And basically they let him go. They say they're not gonna press charges or whatever, and the boy takes off running, and they get the laptop back. We find out that the white man, who, as we can already see, is a little bit crazy, is like her best friend or her work best friend or whatever. And he sort of feels a way, it seems, about her becoming a judge. Like maybe he feel like she's selling out. I mean, let the black lady be a judge, honey. Let her be a judge. I got an auntie that's a judge. Next thing we see is the legend. Well, I feel like legend is strong. Jessica Camacho, who I dearly love. She's been in some things, couple things. She was on Sleepy Hollow. I didn't watch that last season, so I didn't see how that went for her, but she was on that and a couple other things. She's been around, honey. She's been around. She's playing playing Miss Lopez. And it's cute for her. It's real cute. It's a cute little role. She apparently is having some issues, but we're gonna get to those issues. Let's just talk about what happens. Okay, so they get into the courtroom, and Simone Missick, who I'm gonna call new judge walks into the wrong courtroom, and you can see the little the judicial assistant or whatever she is. She in the background got a little attitude and everything, and new judge is like, apologies, it wasn't on purpose. I ain't just busted in y'all courtroom, girl. Nobody after you. And as she's getting ready to leave, she sees something that, you know, turns her head. So she's, you know, asked for permission to approach the bench. And she, you know, we find out that the defendant in this particular case that has absolutely nothing to do with her, but, you know, we got to fight for what's right. This defendant ain't got no pants on. And I'm sitting here like, ain't nobody gonna say nothing about the fact that pantless ain't got no pants. Girl, she ain't got no pants on. She just stand up here in her pink drawers. And this is based on a true story. We've seen, I don't remember what the case was, but there was a lady who did have to stand in court with her, you know, in her drawers. And I think the guard or the officer that brought her in did get in trouble for that. So anyway, she like, girl, she ain't got no pants on. You know, the opposite, I ain't got no panties on. Ain't got no panties on. I ain't got no panties on the dance floor. She ain't got no pants on. Ain't got no pants on. She ain't got no pants on the court floor. You know, it's like, girl, where's her pants? Anywho, nah, let me get back over. I was finna get over, but, well, I did get over, but let me get back over because they driving too slow. I got somewhere to be. Somewhere to be. I'm gonna try to get over on up here. Yeah. Let me get on up here past this Toyota Camry. Past that Toyota Camry, cause you know I hate them cars. Where was it, girl? I didn't got distracted, honey. I'm driving. Defensive driving. Oh yeah. So Simone Missick, aka new judge, walks over to the bailiff, or to the I guess he's a bailiff. Are they all just bailiffs? Do the bailiff goes and gets the defendant from holding or whatever. Girl, I don't know. Anywho, turns to the white man with the gun, honey, and the badge, and says, what if it was your daughter? And for some reason, that was a trigger for him to say, go to hell. And I'd have been like, I'll meet you there. What time you want to be there? We gonna meet up by the fire or the brimstone? Go to hell. You going to hell? If I'm going, you going. We gonna be there together. But he says go to hell, and then I think it was best friend. I think his name is Mark. Somebody's name is Mark. I think it's the best friend. He steps up, and now the bailiff done pulled a gun. He done pulled a gun and talking about, why don't we just let, you know, I guess the criminals run the place. Girl, they done got this. Is it open? They just built it. There's a new Dollar General coming up, honey, and they literally just finished building the building. Now, mind you, they started building the building earlier this month. They finished building the building earlier this week. And now they got clothes, honey, the Dorito truck outside. Like, they are finna open. Honey, expeditiously, as T.I. would say. Anywho, so yeah, the bailiff got the gun. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm all over the place. The bailiff got the gun. He pointed the gun at Simone, new judge Missick. And I'm like, you not finna shoot my girl? I know I'm just as shiny, honey. I'm sweating down boots. I couldn't find my setting spray. Don't look at it. Anywho, got the gun, honey, and then he turns the gun and fires at the judge. And I'm like, the judge ain't even saying nothing to you. What in the world? So, you know, I guess after some PTSD counseling and everything, we done got back to work. And the next couple scenes we see, new judge is now, you know, fulfilling her role as judge. So she's going, and she has to take the judge's elevator on up to the judge's chamber, honey, and finds out she got to work with the heifer that was trying her, you know, the judicial assistant or whatever she's called, that was trying her earlier in the episode. And they not, you know, as Climax said in, was it Meeting in the Ladies' Room? Or was it the other one that I can't think of the name of right now, where she said, I am much, much unhappy about this. That's how she felt. She was much, much unhappy about this. And so they link up, honey. They get ready to work together. They giving each other cues. The assistant says, when I need to, you know, pull you out of court, I'm going to sneeze 2 times. And I'm like, why you can't just tap on the shoulder and be like, hey, sis, let me, hey, little mama, let me whisper in your ear. Tell you some things that you like to hear. Like a sneeze. Whatever. So they get ready to go in court. Long story short, let me go to my notes because I'm really just talking off the top of my head, honey. Let me see. Oh, I forgot to mention when the crazy white bailiff. Shoot, who is that in my grandmama that? Oh, I know who that is. I'm driving by my grandmama and them house to get to my grandmama and them house. My great grandmamas live down that street. We got about 20 more minutes till we get to my grandmama. But I forgot to mention when the crazy white bailiff had done shot at the judge, the cute black bailiff had done shot at the crazy white bailiff. And the cute black bailiff played in Travelers on Netflix. If you've never seen it, watch it. It's wonderful. He plays kind of an evil guy at first, but then he you know, some things transpire and he swoops it on up. But he is cute to me, honey. He got that nose and that face and that complexion and that skin and stuff. And I'm like, call me. He probably married. Let me leave this man alone. Anywho, literally on my notes I wrote, the bailiff is the cute black dude from Travelers. Good for me. Good for me. Anywho, he and Miss Lopez, who as I told y'all is Jessica Camacho from Sleepy Hollow and such, which they kind of got this little flirting relationship going, and I think that's cute for them. That's, you know, good for her. Let me see. We find out that Miss Lopez has an abusive ex. You know, he done took her, her carburetor, or her alternator, or her gas pedal out the car, honey, and threw it through her home window. And I'm like, if you can do something crazy like that, first of all, you done went and got your tools and opened up her car and took her mechanism out of the car and threw it through her window. So you're not only crazy, but you got time. Because I could be crazy, but I just don't have the time. Like, I could call you and cuss you out on my way to do something else, but I don't have time to be all up under your hood, taking out your car pieces and I can slash your tires real quick on my way, you know, to work or something. Ride by, you know, or just slash 3, because if you slash 3, insurance won't pay for it, but if you slash 4, insurance will. I didn't tell you that. You didn't hear that from me. Anywho, I've never slashed a tire in my life. If y'all don't think I'm out here doing the most. I'm not. I mind my business and I don't care enough about a nigga to do anything crazy. But yeah, I can already see the cute bailiff kind of coming to her rescue with this abusive ex situation. I can see this. I see it coming. In the meantime, best friend Mark has a case, and he is prosecuting a man who got that Charles Manson-esque situation going with the beard and the hair, and he look a mess and he sound a mess. Everything is just kind of a mess with him, and he's representing himself. I don't think Charles Manson represented himself. I know, was it Dahmer? Was it Dahmer? No, it was Bundy. Ted Bundy represented himself. But he did far more heinous crimes, and so did Manson than this guy. This guy was on trial for a robbery. It's a robbery now. Get on the ground. Give me that money and hush your mouth. Girl, get on through this light for a change. I should have went that way, but I'm gonna go this way. I'm just going to. But yeah, he going up against this guy, and apparently the judge doesn't like him because he has some kind of outside of the courtroom they play hockey, and best friend Mark beat up the judge in hockey, and so now the judge is mad and entertaining foolishness. And I'm like, that's unprofessional boots. The boots are unprofessional. Back to new judge. She's on her way into her first proceedings as a judge, honey, and she done tripped and fell. And I'm like, girl, she trips and falls, and then she, you know, gets up there and she does her thing. And her first case, well, I don't think it was her first case, but the first case that kind of piqued her interest, let me get on over, is Pantless. Pantless is back, honey. She got on pants this time, and we thank God. Apparently her other case was dismissed because, girl, there's far too much going on. Far too much. But they done got her again, honey, for a robbery. It's a robbery now. Get on the ground. Give me that money and hush your mouth. I'm gonna do it every time. I'm gonna do it every time. Anyway, so she getting ready to plead. I think she was getting ready to plead. No, she was getting ready to plead not guilty. Or was she getting ready to plead guilty? I don't know, whatever. She was getting ready to plead, honey. She was finna plead. And new judge was like, girl, it don't look like you know what's going on. In the words of Miss Mulatto on her hit song Going On. Y'all know what's going on. It don't look like you know what's going on. What's tea? Did you do it or didn't you do it? She said, Pantless said, I didn't do it and I wasn't there. I don't know what's going on. I didn't do it. And they say they got one of her shoes or something like that, whatever. New judge is not convinced that the girl did it, so she's gonna take it to trial. And everybody's like, girl, why? This is open and shut. She was there, her shoe was there. You know, the detective said she saw her there, but new judge is not convinced. So she's, you know, gonna fight for the girl's freedom, basically. Fight for what's right. She's not gonna be one of them judges that just sits behind the, you know, the desk and it's just okie doke with whatever. Now, mind you, she's a new judge, and a lot of new judges start off that way, and then by the end, honey, they just be like, girl, guilty. Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Who is doing all this construction? I'm not living for it. I am not living for it. It's a school day. It's construction on a school street. This is so ghetto. This is so ghetto. And the speed limit is 30 miles an hour. 25 when children are present. And children about to be present. Girl, this gonna be a mess when the kids get out. They get out in like 20 minutes. This gonna be a mess. Anywho, where was I? Yeah, I hope she continues to be, and of course that's the point of the show. So all throughout the show, she's gonna continue to be the type of judge that's gonna fight for the rights of the people. But I wish she would have been a little more seasoned a judge, and not just going in there for her first time right now, because you know, whenever anybody starts something new that they've been working towards, they get optimistic. They're optimistic. They go in and it's like, yes, this is great. We're gonna do it. Huzzah. And then, you know, 20, 30, 40 years in, it's like, this ain't for me, girl. I'm bored. I'm tired. You know, the system has beat me down, yada, yada, yada. And I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of pushback from the system. We saw a little bit this episode. But anyway, I've been talking forever and I ain't got to the points. Let me see. At some point, new judge and best friend Mark start arguing a little bit about judge stuff, honey. Is you ain't gonna do this, and because you a judge now, you think you gonna do this and that. I ain't care really. I'm gonna have to see a little bit more about their friendship, their relationship before I care. I'm here because Simone Mystic is here, and I'm here because the show actually was good. But them two, I don't care about them two. I want to see who Simone. At some point, new judge was on the phone. Oh, don't come over here. You stay right in that lane. At some point, new judge was on the phone, and she was giving an "I love you" too. And I'm like, is this a boyfriend? Is this a girlfriend? Is this a son? Is this a daughter? Who is it? Whose draws are these? Who is it? Oops. And at some point in the episode, she said Robin is out of town, and I'm like, Robin could be. Is she dating Robin Dixon from Potomac? Is she dating Ross Dressful-less Dixon? Because you know, I love the lesbians, honey. I'm a big fan. Excuse me, just getting in front of me like this. I'm a big fan. So if Robin is a lady, I'm gonna automatically stand. If Robin is a fine black man, I'm also gonna stand. Either way. Now, if Robin is a white person, it's gonna take me a little time. If Robin is a white woman, I'm gonna stand by default. If Robin is a white man, I'm confused. I'm confused. So we waiting to see who Robin is. Robin could be her child. Like, we don't know. Anywho, let me drive like I got some sense, honey, because the police be out here. In the meantime, back in court, Manson-esque says that best friend Mark's daddy was in the mob or is in the mob, and for some reason that has something to do with his case. Like Bibliophilic on her video was like, what does that have to do with the case? And I was thinking the same thing, like, girl, what they got to do with the fact that you may or may not have robbed a liquor store or whatever you robbed? Like, I don't, it didn't come together for me, but whatever. It made best friend Mark upset. Let me see. My notes done got all scrambled. Let me see. Oh, I forgot to mention Pantless's lawyer is Miss Lopez. And they in court or whatever, and when Pantless finds out that they are going to trial, she, first of all, let me get on, because I'm not gonna be able to stop. I gotta run the light, I'm sorry. My brakes ain't good. I can't do it. That we can do. I just gotta hope I don't get pulled over, but I don't see no police assist, so anywho, I wish you wouldn't have got in front of me like that. What was I finna say? Oh, when Pantless found out she had to go to trial, it made her nervous. But also she is 5 months pregnant, and she threw up on the table in the cafeteria at the courthouse. And I didn't know if it was from nerves or pregnancy, but it was nasty. That's what I did want to be known. Her mama I ain't really see it for her mama. Her mother is like, I'm not gonna be able to help you with this baby. I'm like, what? Rude. I didn't really see it for her mama. But we'll get back around to that mama in a little bit. In the meantime, my mama texted me. Yeah, anywho, in the meantime, when we get back in court, we find out that they found Pantless' shoe. I'm sorry I'm calling her Pantless, but I ain't catch her name. I didn't. And she probably not gonna be around but for this episode, so it wasn't no point in me. Y'all know I don't really y'all know I don't do names like that. I give folks their own names. But they found Pantless' shoe at the scene of the crime, and so that is all they need to say that she did it. But they're showing some pictures or whatever, and we see Q Bailiff, because we find out that Q Bailiff is bailiff by day, lawyer or law student by night, and he's getting ready to wrap up his law degree, so he almost a lawyer. So not only is he a cute gun-wielding man, but he also is almost a lawyer. I'm gonna get on through here, honey. Anywho, so while they're in court, he sees something, and he goes to tell Miss Lopez. Now Miss Lopez is a little aloof because you could tell immediately that he kind of sees it for her, because when they first meet, she is trying to get a spot in line, for lunch or whatever, and he lets her cut. He's way up in front of the line, she way up in the back, and she asking around, can I cut, I'm so late, and he lets her take her, his place in line, even though he didn't let her take the place in line. He just let her get in line with him because he stayed right there. Anyway, they chat a little bit, and she's like, oh, you're the guy that shot the guy that shot at the guy. You shot at the guy that shot at the guy. And they kind of hit it off from there, and it's a little bit of a friendship, but you can tell he like her. You can tell. And anyway, long story short, he meets up with her when they're on recess or break or lunch or whatever you call it, and he tells her that he saw a discrepancy in what the detective was saying. So he takes the information to her, and they go on an excursion, honey, down to, let me put on my emergency brake, honey. My granny lives on the hill. Stay with it, emergency brake. You see a discrepancy, and they go on down to the actual scene of the crime. And I'm like, I wouldn't, but I'm scary. I also wouldn't be a lawyer. My daddy is. He hated it. He recently stepped down from being a lawyer because he was like, it's too much. But the type of law he was doing, we're not gonna get into it. Anywho, let me let up these windows. This window in particular, honey, the white people looking. But anywho, they go and they find out that what the detective said basically wasn't true. Where she said she found the shoe, she couldn't have found the shoe, and it had to have been on the other side or something like that. So they take some pictures, they take it to the judge, basically, and long story short, the judge says these pictures are not admissible in court. And the little guy, the guy that's coming against Miss Lopez, is like, thank you. And she's like, so I want both of y'all to go and photograph the crime scene, and we're gonna figure out what happened. So he thought he won, but really the judge is like, no, we're gonna figure this out. So I can see Miss Lopez and new judge kind of forming a friendship as well. I hope it doesn't raise some suspicion or I hope we don't have no problems. I hope we don't. Anyway, let me find my notes, because girl, I keep moving my notes. Tall black police chief pops in and kind of tries to intimidate new judge, because new judge is questioning the validity of the statement of the detective, the lady detective that's lying basically on Pantless. And new judge is like, girl, can't be bothered. Anyway, back to this detective. And we find out that the detective did lie, and the detective comes into the judge's chambers and is like, you don't know what it's like to be a woman on the force. And it's like, she a woman in law. She a woman and she black. What are you telling her that she don't already know? I always am so confused when white people say, you don't know what it's like to do. Sweetie, black woman, we suffer. We're not just out here living it up like a white man or a black man. Don't get me started, because you know then the black men gonna come out and say, don't get me started, don't get us started. Let me stop. Because the fact of the matter is, even after black people could vote, it was only men for quite a long time. Can we just, anywho, and don't get me started on Native Americans, because you know I'm part Native American as well, Seminole lineage, and and I just feel like it was so disrespectful for Native Americans not to be able to vote until like the 40s, when this land is their land, this land is our land. It's not, whatever. Anywho, long story short, you know, Pants is found not guilty. Pantsless is found not guilty, and we thank God for it. Manson-esque is going to jail. The man that best friend Mark was coming up against, because Mark done tricked him into shaving his face, because on the footage of him robbing the store, the bank, or wherever he was robbing, he had a clean face and he grew his beard out before trial. So when they got to trial, he had a full beard. You couldn't really see what he looked like. And Mark done tricked him into shaving his face, because he was like, if you don't shave your face, they gonna think you guilty. But he is guilty, and he shaved his face, and he going to jail. Oh, it was a mess. Anywho, new judge tells detective, lying detective lady, don't pull no mess like that again or you going to jail. You know, basically. Q bailiff asked Miss Lopez out. She says no, because, you know, it's complicated, meaning her ex-boyfriend, you know, is still messing around in her life. And I'm like, he could protect you. He could protect me. Anywho, we see new judge catch Pantsless on a bus stop or something. She's sad, and new judge says, girl, I think it was your mama that had done did it, and you need to cut her off. And Pantsless is like, but she gonna help me with the baby. I'm like, no, she not. And new judge is like, no, she not. And girl, I am just glistening down boots. Ain't no reason for me to glisten like this. No reason, honey. Just as shiny. Just as shiny. Excuse my ghetto shop paper towels, honey. They was on sale at the dollar store, and they was cheaper than the regular paper towels. Anywho, let me get in here to my grandmama. Let me see. Let me make sure I caught all my notes. Okay, last thing we see is best friend Mark has new judge take him over to see his daddy at some club, and he walks in and punches his daddy in the face and has to get toted out the building. And that's, you know, that's the last thing. So I'll catch y'all next week for the next episode. I think we really gonna stick with this. I like this show, and I'll catch y'all. Peace.